let me just start with a brief manifestation again before I proceed with my line of questioning. Let me just qualify the statements earlier by the Chief of Staff and the Commander of the 6ID during the exchange earlier that when they were asked if will they follow a direct command by the President, they said they would not. Uh, I believe ibang context nung nandoon yung pinag-uusapan doon dahil you'll have to understand us, kami hong mga sundalo, with the exception of Senator Honasan and Senator Ligarda, hindi kami mga magagaling na communicators. So I believe ang ibig sabihin ni General Pangilinan then was kung inutusan siyang ng presidente kanyunin ang isang lugar, susundin pa rin niya yung doctrine. Hindi niya pwedeng i-shortcut. Na kung alam niyang may matatamaan na mga civilian doon, may matatamaan na friendly forces doon, hindi pa rin niya gagawin. I believe maliwanag din naman yan sa Commander-in-Chief. Kasi for example, today, sabihin ni Presidente Aquino dun sa Chief of Staff, kanyunin nyo itong Senado dahil masyado sila magulo. Hindi rin nila susundin yon. Okay? Which is precisely why we are electing presidents na alam din yung mga protocols ng military. At hindi nila i-breach yun just to assert their authority. So, maliwanag naman yon. Pagka lawful yung order, they will still have to follow certain doctrines. For example, the artillery fire support. Dahil, sabi ko nga the last time, this is a highly technical field. In fact, ilan lang sa armed forces sa mga experts sa ganyan dahil is a special field altogether. It's an area of specialization. Hindi nga ho yan. Let me just repeat dun sa mga kasama nating hindi nakakaintindi, including myself. Hindi ito, pag sinabing kailangan namin ng indirect fire dito, hindi yan i-expectin mo na mangyayari kagad. Kasi nga, mas malaking problema ang kaharapin ng armed forces natin kung yun ang pumatay doon sa SAF personnel natin. Kung yung kanyon na yun yung pumatay. Will the relatives of the slain SAF personnel forgive itong sila General Pangilinan kung yung kanyon ng military ang pumatay? Bibitayin natin sila General Pangilinan dyan, sila General Katapang. Bakit nila hindi sinunod yung doktrina ng artillery fire support? So, ganun yung nakikita natin dito. Ganun din, kung tamaan yung civilian communities doon at nilabas yung sa YouTube yung mga tinamaan ng kanyon, ang gigisahin naman ngayon yung armed forces. So kaya very, very careful ang armed forces at meron ng protocols in place. So, ganun ho ba yung konteksto natin, General Katapang and General Pangilinan, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So, I think that's very clear. Hindi sila mag-defy ng Commander-in-Chief, pero they will still follow the doctrines. Now,
I'm sorry, just
Yes.
1 second. May I just commend the new spokesman of the armed forces?
Hindi naman, ma'am. We're just trying to clarify issues here dahil mahirap na. Baka mamaya yung media natin may maka-spin yan. Kawawa naman yung armed forces. It will contribute, ma'am. But
I actually
thank you.
thank you for that because that's the way I understood it and I wanted to clarify it for them except
Yes.
I did not have the floor. But thank you, Senator Trillanes.
Thank you also for reminding me. Thank you. Now, doon naman po sa kay Chairman Iqbal ng MILF. Una-una, nagpapasalamat po kami at pinaunlakan nyo yung aming imbitasyon. Ito po ay malaking hakbang na pinapakita nyo talagang partner kayo ng ating gobyerno dito sa quest natin for peace. Ngayon, siguro pinag-uusapan yung video na masyadong nakapag-ignite ng passion sa ating mga kababayan. First and foremost, would you deny or admit na mga tropa ninyo yung gumawa noon, Chairman Iqbal? Just for the record, please.
Mahirap na tanong po yan. Kung sasabihin ko na yung tropa namin ang gumawa without that investigation to, the result of the investigation to come out, so that is as if self-incrimination po. Pero I will still push for the conduct of a fair, impartial, independent investigation so that we will know the truth. Pangalawa po, I think that video is not really anchored on the basis of what should be the proper way of communicating that kind of incident. I'm referring to the authenticity nung document na yan. Kasi yan, nasa YouTube yan, hindi natin alam kung sino ang gumawa niyan. Baka gusto lang manira, I don't know what would be the motive. So, siguro, although naka-aros yan ng emotion, and then outcry, halimbawa, ganyan, so importante rin, tingnan natin kung ano ba yan, authentic ba yan? Kasi with the advanced technology now, siguro mas madali pang gawin yan kaysa yung nakikita natin sa movies na halos virtual reality. So ganun ho ang gusto kong sabihin dito, na dapat tingnan din natin ang authenticity, yung authentic ba yung video na yan o talagang gawa-gawa dahil sa advanced technology ngayon.
Well, Chairman Iqbal, siguro mas tatanggapin ng mga kababayan natin kung sasabihin nyo na hindi pa nyo readyng sagutin yan until matapos yung inyong investigasyon. Yung ho ba ang nais ninyo sabihin?
Kung naniniwala ko, on a personal naniniwala ko na hindi ginawa ng MILF yan. However, kaya nga sabi ko kanina, ang problema kasi natin ngayon yung perception, speculation, masyadong malawak po ang perception na hindi maganda, speculation hindi rin maganda. So I personally believe na hindi gagawin ng pwersa ng MILF yan. However, i-conduct muna natin yung investigation para lalabas kung anong katotohanan.
Okay. Salamat po sa inyong paglilinaw. Dahil ganito po, itong ating path to peace ay aaminin natin na nagkaroon po ng malaking balakid dahil sa insidenteng ito. At ang nabasag po dito yung tiwala. At least, sabi nyo nga, rightly or wrongly, base sa pananaw ng ating mga kababayan, ay nagkaroon ng lamat yung tiwala na yon. At yung lamat na yon ay posible pang mabawi o mabuo. Pero depende po yan sa mga hakbang ng MLF in the coming days. I don't know kung ano ho ang pwedeng mag-satisfy or mag-restore nung trust na yon. Whether isoli nyo yung mga firearms or ibigay nyo yung mga salarin dito sa even yung sa mga gumawa ng video na yan. I really don't know. There are no guarantees. But right now, the passions are very high. Emotions are running high. And I believe it would really help yung mga hakbang ninyo para ma-regain yung trust na yan. So in short, the fate of this peace process is in your hands at inaantayan ng ating mga kababayan. Now, dito po kay General Napeñas, doon sa inyong Oplan, sinasabi ninyo na time on target yung pagko-coordinate. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Pero dun sa Oplan ninyo, sino yung dapat nyong ko-coordinatean? Based on your Oplan, sir.
Yes, Your Honor, if may refer to the document. Okay lang ba ito? Okay lang ba yan? Your Honor, medyo mahaba po ito at may mga pangalan na
Okay.
involved sa operations. If we can just take this up doon sa...
Sige, doon na lang sa just the units. Yung top first four.
Yes, Your
First
Honor.
four. main effort at time on target.
Opo, yung 6th Infantry Division po, Your Honor. 1st Mechanized Brigade, ADJAG, CCH.
Okay. Yung first, yan lang po, ano?
Opo.
So, nakalagay rin dito yung CCCH and the ADJAG, based dun sa inyong OPLAN, ay dapat i-inform. Pero, based dun sa timeline na sinubmit ng Armed Forces, dalawa lang ang ininforman ninyo, sir. Itong 6ID and the 1st Mechanized Brigade. So, as observed by Senator Honasan, may mga elements dito sa OPLAN na hindi sinunod, General Napeñas. And I believe dito ngayon, kaya tayo nandito ngayon, it's because of those lapses dun sa sa execution ng operational plan, kaya tayo ganito, General Peñas.
Nainformahan po yung chairman ng ADJAG, Your Honor. At nainformahan din po si...
What time yun, sir?
That's about 5:35, Your Honor. In fact, nagkaroon kami ng actual conversation ni General Orense, Your Honor.
Pero yun, hindi na yun, sir, time on target. Ano na yun? That was already the encounter.
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, so, yun na nga. If you will just follow your own operational plan, do sa time on target, which is as early as 0200, doon dapat na-coordinatean, General Peñas?
Yung time on target, Your Honor, according to plan is 2:30. However, na-hit yung target at 4:15. Pero na-informahan kami, hindi immediately na na-informahan kami because may delay dahil siyempre, Your Honor, nagbabakbakan. Then later, naka-inform yung men on the ground sa amin. And that's the time na nagtatatawag na ako dito sa mga dapat na informan dito sa task coordination table, Your Honor.
Okay. Hindi ko na ipupursue yan, General Napeñas. But right now, would you admit na just looking back, meron ba kayong palagay ninyo may pagkukulang yung operational planning na inyong ginawa? Dahil dito sa after mission report na ginawa, tinitignan ko yung section on lessons learned, bakante. So it's as if it was a perfect mission, but if it were, we wouldn't have this hearing. So ngayon, tatanungin ko na lang kayo directly, sir, would you admit na itong operation plan ninyo ay nagkaroon ng pagkukulang?
Admit yan, Your Honor, na nagkaroon ng pagkukulang. Ang priority ko, before ko na nasabihan sila kasi nag-encounter, then may report kaagad later na may tinamaan. So, at the height ng ganun na sitwasyon, Your Honor, ang priority na pinagtatawagan namin through the radio is yung magre-reinforce kasi alam na namin na anytime baka makapag-assemble na yung mga nearby na armed men. I admit that, Your Honor, na hindi ko na-informahan sila kaagad yung eksakto na time on target na 4:15, pero yung nga sinabi ko, hindi kaagad 4:15 na naipasa yung information na hit na yung target.
I agree po. I agree po, General Napeñas. Pero I was not referring to the coordination aspect alone, but in the other aspects of the operational plan, like according to your intelligence reports, the MLF were numbered around 1,000. Then most probable course of action of the enemy was to engage. And yet, kung 1,000 yon, pero ang blocking force nyo ay 36, tapos nilagay nyo sa open field. So, looking back, you will have to admit na kung gagawin nyo itong operation ulit, may mga babaguhin na kayo. Like yung exfiltration plan, baka iba ng rotang gagamitin. Marami na. Ganon din ba ang, do you share that, just looking back, alam nyo naman, we have to admit, perfect vision tayo in hindsight Pero ang pinag-uusapan kasi natin, in the future, if a staff commander would conduct a similar operation, he would do things differently, learning from the lessons of this incident, sir.
Your Honor, on the tactical level kasi po, nagbigay kami ng coordinates yung sa planning kasama naman yung mga tactical commanders for them to occupy as to kung saan yung eksakto na location, call ng tactical commander na dapat yon mayroong cover and concealment. It's no longer the call ng nasa ACP or nasa TCP. It will be done by the tactical commander themselves. They were given the general area that they would occupy, but as to the specific area, call po yun ng tactical commander, Your Honor.
So in short sir, kung nailagay sila sa medyo magandang lugar dun sa waypoint na sinabi nyo, yung 36 na yon would be able to hold their ground against 1,000 MILF troops based on your intelligence, sir?
Your Honor, I have to correct na hindi lang po 36 kasi 4 na grupo po yun.
Apat.
Yung 55th, yung 45th, 42nd, and the
mapangunahan.
41st, they have their own area na i-occupy that will serve as na security and containment sa pag-withdraw ng 84th, Your Honor.
So assuming 100 sir sila, no? So you still maintain na the plan as it is, kung gagawin natin ito ulit ang plano nyo. You'll stand by this. Yung ba yung sir sinasabi nyo?
Yes, Your Honor, because there are some doctrine or there are some practice that you enter in one route, you get out in another route, but this is a totally different situation because malayo na yung ibang rota, then puno din ng armado yun. That's why ang concept of operation nito is yung nga in-explain ko kanina, Your Honor.
I respect your opinion, sir. Anyway, I concede there are many ways of accomplishing the mission, and in your judgment, this was the best way. But sadly, we had tragic results. Now, finally, dun sa kay mga in-enumerate ni Chairman Iqbal earlier about the previous atrocities done to the Bangsamoro people, and ganun din naman yung mga war stories ng na-experience na ating mga sundalo at mga civilian dyan. So ito na nga, yung brutalities of war, itong atrocities of war, both sides. Meron din naman mga sundalo, and I know this also for a fact, na nagtatanggal din ng mga tenga at mga pinupugutan din ng ulo ang mga kalaban, whether MLF yan or whoever. So ganito kasi, ito yung effect, ito yung trauma ng gera sa isang tao, pumapasok sa psyche ng mga sundalo na hindi may imagine yan ng mga hindi nakakita ng gera. At kung kaya nga, we're doing everything sana to avoid it. Ngayon marami mga hawks dito lalo na dito sa Maynila, marami mainit ang ulo na parang it's as if ganun na lang kadali na ubusin lahat yan, pulbusin yan. Yung pag kami namatay dyan, yung mga kamag-anak niyan, yan na ngayon. They will breed a new generation of freedom fighters. Ang tawag, one terrorist is in the eyes of another, it's a terrorist. In the eyes of another, it's a freedom fighter. Which is why crucial itong road to peace. Now, it's in the hands of our government and MLF panels. Ayusin natin ito, but we have to also consider the impact of this peace agreement dun sa ibang stakeholders. Dahil hindi ito basta one way lang. Baka pagka ang nasagasaan naman dito sa pursuit of peace natin with the MLF, masagasaan yung ibang stakeholders doon, sila naman ang mag-aalburuto and tuloy-tuloy na naman tayo rito. So that's all, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Trillanes.